Hello, welcome to Cosplay Confessional. We're here to explore the who's, hows, and whys of cosplayers and the hobby that they love. I'm your host, Kisasa Cosplay, a cosplayer with 6 years of experience.
And I'm Dave. I'm a cosplay enthusiast who's never done a cosplay, so 0 years for me.
Hello, welcome back to Cosplay Confessional. We are episode number 4. Here we are, back to chat about all things cosplay.
Yes, indeed. And we have with us today a fantastic guest who we're going to speak to in a couple of minutes. But first, I really wanted to ask, so something's happened recently, which is exciting and new for me, which is I learned something. And I love to learn new things. And this goes back to, we've spoken about before, I was a fan of yours before we were co-hosts, and I recognized one of your cosplays that I really enjoyed, and I had assumed that this cosplay had been out in the world and everyone had seen it, and I was just late to the party. And then I discovered recently that actually you wore it to a con for the first time. So can you tell me about Liv?
Yes, so a couple weeks ago was MCM Comic Con. Always love doing that con. It's big, it's expensive, it's busy, but I wouldn't miss it. So headed to that one and took my Liv Moore from iZombie for the first time. I figured she's like, it's the Halloween con, and she's kind of, well, she's not spooky, but you know, she's a zombie, so we'll go with it.
Spooky enough.
Yeah, so it's the first time I'd ever worn her out in the world, as it were. I'm not really somebody who does a lot of cosplays that aren't for a specific con. So usually I live for the con crunch, and I'm aiming towards a con, and that's what gives me the motivation to work on a cosplay. But during the dreaded lockdown, I did do a few new cosplays, just kind of getting itchy feet and fancying doing something new, and she's one of the ones that I did during lockdown. So I'd only ever worn it in my kitchen. I was seriously running out of pictures to post of it. And yeah, so just it was the first time I'd ever took it out. It was interesting because kind of the makeup and stuff I'd not really had to get bang on at home, because you know you can just you can wax some filters on the photos, and you know there's not as much obviously pressure on it when you're just doing it in your kitchen. So there were a couple of things that when I came to wear it, I thought, oh bugger, I'd like bodged this a little bit because I wasn't doing it properly, and now I've remembered that I actually like need to change the shoes a bit or whatever. But it came out pretty good in the end, and I was pretty happy with it, and it was nice to actually get some real photos in it. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing it, and I think I think I've one more cosplay now that's never been out but has been done, and that's. I did a Snow White from Wreck-It Ralph, you know, like the PJ, like the
Nice.
PJ one.
Yeah.
That's never been to a con. I'll probably will at some point, just because it feels like
It's a fairly comfy one, right?
Can't be the only one. And yeah, it's pretty comfy. So I'll maybe wrangle together a group for that one day. But yeah, so
Nice. What was the reaction like? Because it's another one of those ones where I don't think I've seen that character cosplay before. I don't think I've ever actually seen someone else doing it. So
I've seen a few of them, to be fair. It went down pretty well. I had a few people sort of clock me and like, oh my god, Liv. And I was with a Blaine as well. So my friend Tony, she was cosplaying Blaine. So it's always, you know, cosplaying in numbers. It's always fun to do it in a bit of a group. You're twice as likely to be recognised. And we did see one other Liv, who was actually someone I know. We didn't like coordinate it, but it happened that we were both doing it. So we saw her. I don't think we saw any other iZombie cosplayers, but yeah, it got a few mentions. I mean, London's always a tough crowd, to be fair, for any cosplay. I find like it's the standard there is just like next level. So
right.
I kind of never expect the same reception at London as I do at other cons, but yeah, I was happy with it. So
Yeah, I was just very, when I mentioned when you mentioned that you'd not worn it to a con, I was like, what, really? I just assume they've all been there.
The illusion of social media.
Yeah, I believe everything I see on the internet every time. It's a character flaw. So let's go ahead and introduce our guest, because you mentioned the makeup in that cosplay, and I have makeup related questions specifically for this next guest, because
I have many makeup related questions.
Yeah, so we will get to those. So let us bring in to the fray the fantastic Georgia Dyer. Nice to have you with us.
Hello.
It's lovely to see you,
Little
peeps.
waves.
Little
Nice
waves.
to have you with us.
No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
So I'd brought Georgia in for this one. We met last year, I want to say. I think for the first time.
Yeah, it must be. Must be just about.
LFCC, I think.
Yeah. That's gone so fast now.
I know.
Oh.
So yeah, met LFCC. I think you were dressed as, I want to say you were Jack Frost.
Yes. Even I was thinking then, I was like, I don't even remember that.
You're like, I don't know what it was.
What was
it? Which was amazing, by the way. Absolutely love that cosplay. And then we got on really well instantly on your Instagram, stalking you. Oh my god.
Same with you. Same with you. Oh my god.
And so I knew I had to get you on. Pick your brains about.
No pressure. There's not much to pick at, to be fair. So
good
luck with that. It's only small.
So can we? Because I'm the new guy here. You two have met. I'm jealous, and I'm interested to know. Like this is the question we throw everyone's way, and it's that it's what started it. Like what started off. Where were you when you thought cosplay is my thing, and I'm gonna dive into it? Because I'm always interested to hear that first of all, to see where you came from with it.
Yeah. I'd say it was probably around 2015, 16. So when I was like 15, 16, I was in like an art lesson, and someone on my art table was just kind of getting into it. I knew nothing about it, so she was telling me all about it. She'd showed me some of the stuff she did, which was amazing. And that's kind of how I learned about Comic-Cons, cosplay, stuff like that. But I didn't do anything with that information until I was like 18 or so, I'd say, when I did the worst diva you've ever seen in your life. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, honestly.
We all started somewhere.
As a former diva main, I approve. I approve.
I love that. Yeah, no, it was, the control pants they were not high enough. Do you know what I mean? They needed, oh my god. Oh my lord, no wig, nothing. No, it was bad. But yeah, so I went to my first proper Comic-Con, which was MCM Manchester, I think, which was 2018, like July time. And it was just like a totally new experience for me. It was like, even then, people wanted pictures, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I don't know why you're coming up here. So it's just like totally different, seeing other Overwatch cosplayers, getting group pictures. It was just a totally new experience, and it was exciting, that like, why do people want pictures of me? Like, I'm just in a little costume, you don't know who I am. And then, I'd say the following year, so like 2019 is where I fully, got into it and just lost all my money from that point, really. And the rest is history. Skint as always.
Relatable.
Interesting. Like common thread through cosplay is that often leads you straight to bankruptcy. Yeah.
Where's me money? Worth it though.
Okay, so you say that Diva was your first cosplay then. So how did you start off with that then? Was it like a bought one? Did you make it? Did you where did you then go from that?
So with the Diva one, it was just like, God, where did I even get that costume from? Definitely wasn't made, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I must have got the suit from like God knows where, like Amazon or somewhere easy. And then I got the headset and the gun, I think, kind of commissioned through Etsy. So it was, that was quite an exciting process. Took forever, naturally, because they're making them. But that was really exciting to even just get them in the post. It was like, oh my God, and it came with 3 Haribos, and I was like, oh my god, Tim!
Oh my god!
Bugger the costume. I've got
Buy
my
more,
Haribos.
order more, quick.
Yeah, just for the Haribos. So, yeah, so it was, and I had my own hair, so it was just like cheap little costume, more expensive like headset and gun, to be fair.
I was going to say, I bet it wasn't a cheap costume.
No, it
to be fair,
wasn't. No,
in the
it
end.
wasn't.
you try to make yourself feel better, but you're like, oh, really?
Where
It was
the money? Good point, that when you put it that way. And yeah, I think the following year I did Little Sister, which I feel, because the thing is, I don't sew. Still to this day, I don't sew. I'd love to sew, but I feel I need to have my own house with my own space. So I'm not like,
get that.
with my parents in the room, like, what are you doing? And so I'm like, I just need space, and so eventually I will. So it's it's a lot of bought stuff. So then it was Little Sister. I think I got the dress from Etsy again, and then that's kind of my thing. Is like I got it and then like weathered it and stuff like that, which was my first experience. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to get like GCSE art into here, and it's like I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm like, I'll give it a go. And then I think the third cosplay was my Psycho, which is where the whole Borderlands craze started for me from there. It's just acrylic paint, little bits and bobs. I'll admit that technique has not changed in 2023.
I was going to say,
can we not refer to it as just a little acrylic paint? Like, no way is that just like, I'll just put a bit of paint on, it'll be fine. Come on.
I'll be honest, I hope for the best most of the time. I'm just like, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so with the Psycho costume, it was like, I think I did that because of MCM Manchester the following year. They were doing a Borderlands competition. And obviously little me was like, oh, well, I might as well give it a go. I'm not going to get anywhere, but it's fun to see what it's all about. So that's when I did the Psycho and stuff. And it was my first experience kind of meeting other cosplayers properly, rather than just wandering around the con, just like, oh, these are cool, And I was very nervous to go on stage, and people were like, "Oh, do you want a hug?" And I'm like, "Yes, please." Anything. So I was like, I had a mask on, couldn't see anything on stage. I was like, "Oh my god!" But it was nice to kind of. I was in awe, to be honest with you, because everyone just looked amazing, and they filmed us all. They interviewed us with our little microphones, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I love Borderlands, so we'll give it a go. So that's to this day, that's still a big achievement, to be honest. And the rest is kind of history, but that's what started the bulk of like the Borderlands shenanigans, if you will.
And how many Borderlands characters have you done? Because I think there's a few, aren't there?
That is such a good question. Let me think. Tina, Amara, Psycho, bit of a Moxie, but not really a proper Moxie. And Maya. Oh my god, that was the one after Psycho. I just forgot about. I'd say about 5. I think.
Wow.
But the Moxie was a bit.
Okay.
I've seen that picture. It's not.
Well,
I was stalking the hard before we did this with this episode.
You've not looked at the back, so you've not looked at the back.
It's the classic.
Nobody needs to look at the back.
It's the classic cosplayer modesty of, it was not great. It's like, how long were you painting yourself and stitching stuff and making? Like, don't. I'm not a cosplayer. I can't sew a thread. I can't. I've never done makeup. Clearly, like. Don't be like, oh, it's just no effort whatsoever. We know. But speaking of the cell shading, like this is the thing that really got me, because when I was going through your history, the pre-show research,
your portfolio,
yeah. The pre-show research, which sounds better than spooling through Instagram, right?
Yeah,
which is what I was doing. And I saw there were 2 costumes that stood out for me, both because of the property that they were from, and also because of the level of detail and the effort that you put into them. And they were Clementine from The Walking Dead and Bigby Wolf from The Wolf Among Us. And I think that those are 2 of my favorite characters and 2 of my favorite story-based games ever.
Good taste. Good taste.
And well, thanks. And they were that was awesome. So I need to know more
Thank you.
about those costumes and the effort, please, because that was quite something.
You know, Clementine was quite spontaneous, to be honest with you. It was just like, I don't know if I've got a picture now, but I did a Clementine cosplay, like the season 2 one, like I did. Oh, when I was about 14, it was just for a Halloween party.
Right.
You know, I didn't know what I was doing. It was a purple outfit with a Sharpie with a couple of little lines on because I didn't know what I was doing. It was exciting because, God, that is, if I think about it, it was basically like 10 or so years after I did that I finally did the proper cosplay. I wish I could find that original picture. I've been wanting to see it for years just to compare it. But I couldn't decide what to wear for the con, and I was like, I'm just going to try Clementine because it's pretty basic clothes. With the hat, I already made it a few years ago. I was going to do season 3 Clementine, but I never got round to it. I don't know. I think I just wasn't really enjoying the process at the time. But I was like, season 2, love it. Season 1 and season 2 for me, best seasons. So I was like, I want to do it from a season that I actually like.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to do that one. So we already had the hat and stuff. But it only took me sort of a few weeks, I think, probably because I was, con crunching beyond belief. But that's standard at this point.
Still, it's very impressive.
Thank
Like,
you.
I absolutely love that. I mean, I know nothing about Borderlands at all. I'll be honest.
No,
I've never played
fair
it.
enough. Do you know
I
what I mean?
don't, but I can. I mean, I've always liked the art style anyway. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's really cool. But I can definitely really appreciate those cosplays just for how
Thank you.
cool they look. Like, even having no knowledge of the game, I'm like, that is cool.
You're gonna make me
Well,
cry.
that makeup style, I think, is one of the ones where across a con floor, if you see somebody with that kind of makeup style, it really stands out. You kind of go, "Oh, what is that? Who are they? What are they from?" And I think that Borderlands is quite a distinctive style in itself. And then you get the other games like the Telltale games and others where they have that similar aesthetic, and you see it and you go, "I need to know what that costume is because you just spot this quite cool, very distinctive look." So that's really cool.
So in terms of your cell shading, and like the makeup side of things, how did you get into that then? Like, was it like just trial and error? Was it a YouTube situation? Like, were you already quite like skilled in makeup before, or like how? Talk me through that side of it.
God, no, definitely not that last bit. Do you know, that's such a good question because now I'm like, God, how did I even? I feel like it honestly started with like Google images. I was like, like Borderlands style, a bit of Pinterest here and there, seeing what Borderlands cosplays were doing and stuff like that. So the thing that I always used to see was like the cel shaded hand picture. I felt like that was like a, a big thing back in the day. So, I know a big cosplayer that inspired me was I think they're called Emma Rubini.
Okay.
Emma J Rubini. Yes. They do the most amazing Borderlands cosplays, and that's kind of she was my biggest inspiration for it, and it kind of went from there. I do have a bit of I did have a rough starting point because I used acrylic paint for my makeup on my face.
How did that go?
Yeah, you probably how you can imagine it did not go very well. It was not very good. I don't know why I did that. I really don't know why. It's like I forgot that eyeliner existed across the board. I don't know. It wasn't a thing. So, and I mean, like, even like lipstick. I did acrylic paint for lipstick.
Ooh.
I was like, but just use
Don't try this at home,
lipstick.
kids.
Yeah, really don't. Siren tattoos that I did for like Maya back in the day. It was all acrylic paint. Like,
You were bought into your
God,
process. That's what it was. You were using acrylic paint by hook or by crook. That's what's happening.
Oh my God. So when I say that I did not start out good, I'll tell you right now, I mean that. That's not me trying to be modest. Oh my god. And then, people are like, why are you not using like proper stuff? Like eyeliner, body paint, anything, face paint. I was like,
I'm just viewing this
good
my own
question.
way.
So
Okay, this is just.
yeah,
I know what I'm doing.
I was like, I totally know what I'm doing. People are like, oh my god, what's wrong with you? So
I've got all these
I'm like,
vouchers from Hobbycraft. I that's where I get my paints. Like, don't worry about
Me
it.
too. Yeah, no, Hobbycraft's too expensive. The
Yeah.
range,
Range is where it's at. Yes, thank you.
Love the range. But once I got over that hurdle, I was using proper eyeliners, and it's so much easier. It's so much easier. You don't have to get your palette out and your paint,
Your easel.
paint brushes that you've not cleaned properly, and it's like, oh my god. So yeah, it was a long process. But we got there, and now we're using proper stuff.
And now you're a pro. How does the process compare now? Are you pretty like boom done? Like it's just you got it down to a fine art, or is it every time it's still like?
I think it depends on the character, to be fair, because I think I can get the kind of basics down. So just naturally, like, oh, so I'm knocking that. Naturally, like outlining, areas of your face. I'm like, well, I know that me chins are there. I know that my nose is in, this and that. But obviously, when it comes down to like the details of that character, you've got to kind of work in different things. But for the most part, especially female, you can be quite basic with it. It's just kind of the same sort of thing. But when I moved on to like Kenny and Bigby Wolf, that was where it was like, ooh, like I'm not sure if I'll be able to do this or not, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. But I think it ended up working out pretty well.
Pretty well. Yeah, pretty well.
It was alright. I don't know. So I probably would be a bit more confident, and I feel like I'm a little bit quicker with it as well. So it's not as kind of experimenting. I kind of know where to do the lines and just kind of crack on with stuff. But siren tattoos are always a problem. They will never not be a problem. Every time I do them, they look different. There's no
That's the originality
there's
of
no
cosplay.
accuracy there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Artist interpretation,
we'll
right?
put it
That's a big
down
part of it. So
yeah, exactly. But yeah, definitely quicker than I was, I'd say.
And can I ask, because staying on the topic of those couple of particular cosplays like Clementine and Big, I saw that one of the responses on one of your posts was actually from Telltale Games, commenting on the cosplay. What's that like? Because I as someone who's never embodied a character, to get the recognition from someone who they made the character in the first place, and you're taking their style and putting it on your body with acrylic paint. Like, what's that like?
It's so, it just means a lot, to be honest with you. It's so exciting. They reached out to me with if you've seen, they've had a new game called The Expanse out.
Big fan. I'm actually wearing my Expanse hoodie right
I was
now.
about to say, when you were like, I don't know if you've heard, I was like, Dave's like, keep it cool.
Big fan. Big fan.
Me, who had no idea.
I show it straight away. I'm like, huge fan. Put in a good word for me. Huge fan.
Funnily enough, no. Do you know? I'll be honest. I did not know it existed.
That's all right.
Dave.
That's all right. There's so much. There's so much there for you to learn and love. So
true. So they reached out through, I think through a marketing company or something like that, and they said, like, we will literally give you the game. Will you make a bit of content for it? And they left it quite open. So I was like, can I do it like a cosplay? Because obviously I don't really have the setup to like play the game and stuff. And they were like, yeah, of course, that'd be great and stuff. So that was like, oh my god, like I've got a free game.
That is amazing.
Like,
that is cool.
14-year-old me, Halloween party as Clementine. Like, it's just insane. And funnily enough, Adam Harrington, who's Bigby Wolf, followed my account way back when it wasn't even cosplay. I did this one drawing of Bigby Wolf. And he's followed me ever since. And
Oh, what a guy! Please tell me he's liked.
I don't know if he's actually seen me Bigby one.
Oh.
I don't think he does now.
Dude, you peaked too soon.
One of those. It's it's one of those people that you follow when you first start and you just
Yeah.
forget that, the posts never come through and you're like, oh yeah.
Damn you, algorithm.
He's lurking. He's lurking
Yeah.
on you.
I
Don't
only
you
tag
worry.
him.
He is in the
Yeah,
background.
I only tag him in every single post, but that's fine. I'm not salty. No, I love that. I love that fella. But yeah, it's just so exciting because it's like Resident Evil put one of my Angie Beneviento videos on their TikTok and stuff like that, and I've done stuff with like 2K UK in terms of like the Borderlands side of things. Just sort of like resharing my pictures and stuff like that. But it's just so exciting and like oh my god, I forgot his name, but it's like Marcus, who's Brick in Borderlands, follows me, and he's often commenting on Borderlands cosplayer stuff, and it's just so lovely when they actually care and they give you that appreciation. It's a full 360.
Yeah,
I feel
it is that. It's that word, isn't it? It's appreciation. Just the idea that they see someone out there, and I had this. I had the opportunity to speak to some of the voice actors from Overwatch a few Wales Comic Cons ago, and to put that question to them, and be like, so what does it mean when someone walks up to your table wearing the full costume of the character that you brought to life? Like, what does that mean? And so much of it for them was about, and obviously I'm speaking for those particular individuals, but the big thing for them was it was a real like. It felt great for them for someone to like their character enough to put that effort in to embody it themselves. And so I can imagine that the various actors and artists and even game studios and the rest of it engaging with that content. It's just that feeling of, oh, this person likes my stuff enough to put themselves through the effort of making this character. And it's nice to see that there are companies as well as individuals who are actually doing that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's nice from all sides to just have a different sense of appreciation of it, and yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
Well, what's next then? So what's next up? What have you got lined up? What's your plan?
God, that's also.
Because I refuse to accept that any cosplayer doesn't have a number of cosplays planned into the future. So.
Oh yeah,
there's always something.
Till we're dead, we've got plans. It's one of them. I'm a bit like jumbled at the minute because I feel like because we're coming towards the end of the year, my brain is like Christmas. So I'm just like, I'd say a bunch of Christmas cosplays is my first plan of action. I want to do like a Christmassy psycho.
Okay.
Because I did like a pinky pastely one. I think like last year now. I'm gonna try Buddy the Elf.
Oh, cute.
Nice.
And I don't know if that's gonna work. I'll be honest with you. So that might never come out. But we'll see.
We'll be chasing it for you. We'll be chasing it for you come next month. Be like, where's Buddy?
Yeah.
Come on.
Where is he? I definitely want to get Jack Frost back out for a proper photo shoot because I got like no pictures at that con. Honest to God. In terms of like non-festive cosplays, I really want to do Joel from The Last of Us. To be fair, but like a proper male one. I'm kind of weirdly enjoying cosplaying men at the minute. So the confidence is just honestly the confidence boost is wild. It's so weird. So I'd love to do that. Kind of weather the whole outfit, have all of the equipment because it's quite a basic outfit. So I feel like I want to put more effort into the props and stuff like that, so it becomes a little bit more obvious as to what I'm doing. I'd love to do Handsome Jack, but it's even got my little Handsome Jack little t-shirt on. Now it's my turn for a segue. This is a fashion
That's
show.
it. We're all branded tonight. It's all good.
Yes, get in there. So yeah, I'd love to do Handsome Jack. It's proving a little bit troublesome, I can't lie, because I've already forgotten how to make foam wigs because I leave it too long between each one. I'm like, how did I do this? I don't understand. But that is my goal.
Okay.
But we shall see. Definitely Joel, hopefully Handsome Jack.
So, to be fair, that is a good point you make. How does one make a foam wig? Because that is something that just the whole concept of it blows my mind.
It is, I've actually
Here's one I prepared earlier.
That's the phrase. I thought I'd get them out just in case,
Yeah.
So at least,
Oh wow.
well, this is at least, this is the Tina one.
Wow.
So, the thing with this is it's just all entirely foam. It's just the main method is like cling film on your head. Look fabulous.
Yeah.
Usually get my dad to help me. He's always the one sticking duct tape on my head.
You
all
love
that.
a cosplay
all that
parent. We
shit.
always come back to
Yeah,
this.
I
We
know.
did
Yeah.
with Scando.
Shout out to the cosplay parents out there. Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, Scandalorian's mum is lovely. Let me
Oh.
just say.
It's turned into
Sounded
his.
like a legend.
This is Scando's Mum Appreciation Podcast from now on. That's what this is.
It is, you know what I mean? Yeah, I wish I could explain it better, but it's kind of like how people make, like what's the word? It's not template. What's the word? It's like a pattern. That's the word for armor or something. They cling film the body. They put the duct tape on and they cut round it to use that as a template. Flatten it and then you cut the foam around it. Kind of bend the foam and glue it into place. I'm not professional at this. I'm making this up as I go along, so it's not. As you can see, the inside, the inside of that is just
don't need
not
to be
even.
pretty.
Yep.
Same with the mask. So that's just that. That's that. And then it's a bit of Velcro. So then in case if it breaks off and I've glued it on, it's just gonna fall apart. So that's where I can kind of stick it on like that, and then it's
amazing.
kind of a bit more put together, if you will. I'll tell you, the first foam wig I ever did was horrendous. Well, I'm proud of it, but it was a horrendous process, if you will. So this was my Amara one.
Wow.
So it's kind of the front of it. So again, fake hair there. This is honest to God, because with this it's like tin foil, then it's foam clay over the top. It's extra bits of foam for the little pieces coming off. I use like a bottle cap just to kind of have like a good base, and then a little magnet. So then again, it's just if it broke off, if it was glued on properly, it would just go horribly wrong. So then I can just pop it into place.
My mind is so blown by this. This is amazing.
It is chaos. It is chaos. I wish I could remember how I did this.
Oh
I'm
my god,
shocked
that's
I made
me
it
with
myself,
half the
I'll be
stuff I
honest.
make. I'm like, I could never do it again.
Yeah,
Don't try and commission me to
exactly.
do
I could
it
never
because this
ever.
is a one-time
Oh,
only
no.
thing.
God, that's the thing. People say, oh, can you do like a borderland?
No.
I'm like, no. My process is that messy. There's not even a chance. You'd be complaining. So I'm like, just make it up as I go along. But yeah, I think the basics is just cling film, duct tape, make your template. Kind of sticking it together, and then I just use individual foam pieces, cut it out how I think it should look. It's kind of trial and error, to be honest, and kind of see what you think works, because you can always add more to it and stuff like that. More is usually better, to be fair, just chaos, you know what I mean?
Because Kisasa, you have how many wigs do you have now?
Oh, don't.
I wouldn't like to answer that question, Dave. Many. I mean, there's one certain cosplay that I've definitely had 4 for, just for that one, in various permutations. Like, no, that's not quite right. I'll try another one. Try it. So the bags are labelled like Vanya number 1, Vanya number 2. Probably around 20.
Wow. And no foam wigs then?
No foam wigs yet. But now I'm like, maybe this is my future.
You would do a fantastic job, just saying.
I will probably be coming to you for much advice on it.
Don't. I'll be like,
I love the idea of showing off these amazing foam wigs and be like, don't ask me at all how to do this. It's not going to work.
Yeah,
like, did you not make that? No. I mean, kind of. That was a different version of me.
I don't even remember. Honest to God. So now I'm like, oh, handsome Jack. No.
It would. I can picture it though. That would. I'm sure you'll do an amazing job of it, and I know you will do it.
Thank you.
Like, I have all the faith.
This is the thing. So I'm like, I enjoy cosplaying fellas at the minute, and obviously I love the borderlands side. So I'm like, if the two of them together,
it's like the perfect combination right now.
It needs to happen. I don't know what to say.
I
But
need to ask: Have you gone to any conventions in a or assembled as part of a Borderlands group at any cons? Because there's a photo of
not
me, and hopefully
quite.
Dan here will bring it out for us. But of one from a couple of years ago where I encountered a fantastic group of Borderlands cosplayers. And I'm just trying to think: were you in that? Because I wouldn't have recognized you. I apologize, I wouldn't, because I'm face
No.
blind with
Don't be.
cosplayers.
No.
But I got this great photograph with a group of them,
So
and I'm like, were you in that? Because that'd be crazy.
Maybe I
If
know
so.
you.
maybe. Nah. To be fair, because I've only ever been to one London Comic Con, so if it was kind of like up that way or down that way, probably not.
Probably Manchester
'Cause,
or Wales, but it doesn't matter. It could be a completely
Yeah.
different cosplayers, but I thought, wouldn't it be cool if
Probably
actually they were in that same photograph? Probably not, but hell, let's
That would
dream.
be
Let's
cool.
dream.
I did the closest I did was when I went to LFCC last year, and I was with my cosplay friend Chrissy Eclipse, who's an absolute gem. Hello, Chrissy, if you're watching. I don't know.
You better be, Chrissy. Yeah.
She does.
Obviously, Chrissy, come on.
You better be watching. I'll have a word. She does a really good Moxie, and she lives like sort of London way. So then I was Tina and she was Moxie, so we just went round the con as the two of them, and it was amazing. Like I don't think I've ever experienced that much love from like.
Yeah.
But honest to God, there was one point where I was on the phone to a different cosplayer I was trying to meet up with, and people were queuing to meet us, and I'm like, can I have a minute?
I'm on
And
a break.
they were coming up. I was like, please don't talk to me. I'm a celebrity. I don't know what you want me to say.
Give me
No.
5 minutes and then
I know.
photos,
And
but
I'm
until
having
then.
like, honest to God, I just had to pose anyway. So I'm like there on the phone, like,
Oh my
I'm
god.
like, please. I'm like, just give
Surreal.
me 1 minute. I was like, please.
Same. That's what it is.
So that was chaos. Yeah, it was chaos, but it was a lot of fun with Chrissy doing that. So, love to do it again.
We do love a cosplay group.
So maybe you had a Moira cosplay, because I'd say I'm an Overwatch fan, and I saw your cosplay. And in your post, you mentioned another cosplayer that you knew who was doing another Moira-based cosplay.
Yes.
And so I went to look at that one and fell into that hole of link to link to link.
Yeah.
And then I went to one of their images, and then in that image were two people who I have seen at a number of conventions with you, Kisasa. So it's that interesting thing about where the cosplay community, eventually everyone kind of knows someone.
Yeah.
And they kind of bumps into each other, and there's a vague I've seen you around even if we don't know you properly. Like, it's interesting to see how that kind of spreads.
Yeah.
And then you find people who do costumes that you like or that you go with or something, and then those partnerships and those kind of paired cosplays and stuff, those can happen and grow from that, which is really cool.
Yeah, I love stuff like that because I feel like me and you, we met through like, I'd say like BAM Zoom.
Yep, and this is one of the people that Dave also knows. So,
Yep.
but yeah, that's how we met.
I love that because I know we did a Dead by Daylight shoot, which is how I met them, which was amazing. They did an amazing Steve Harrington, which was just beautiful. And I didn't know them until we planned that Dead by Daylight shoot, so it was just, it's crazy how these things happen, because then obviously they spotted me at Wales and then we met and everything. It's interesting to see like how the connections grow and stuff through friends and that. It's just exciting. And also that other Moira that I spoke about is Astral Andrea, who I'll give a little shout out to, because hi Andrea. She's like, don't flip at me. But yeah, she's a great one as well, who I think I met through a Resident Evil shoot that we planned at Tamworth Castle, which was amazing. And we've just become closer through that. And we've done multiple cosplays together. So we did, oh God, we've done loads. But, like, I was Huntress, she was the artist. Recently I was Sweeney Todd and she was Mrs. Lovett.
Enjoy that cosplay.
Yeah.
That's really good. Enjoy that one.
Cute. I need to improve it, but that's a story for another day.
We are our own worst critic.
Honest to God, yeah. But I'm very excited to see the Moira, because it is going to be amazing.
But yeah, speaking of sort of connections through cosplays and stuff, and like cosplaying similar things, So I knew that there was a few things that we kind of both cosplayed from already. So this is just going to be me like going off on a tangent here, Dave, and just like fangirling. So
Go for
I
it.
apologize. So obviously we both do Wolf Among Us. I'd seen
Yes.
your Big B, and we had that like, oh, you do Big B, I do Snow thing. And literally now I've fully stalked you. I'm like, we do so many of the same things. So like I knew you
Yes.
did Max
Oh, yeah, of
from Life is
course.
Strange. Big props to Life is Strange. Jefferson, let's just not even, I don't want to say too much on that one, but I love and hate it in equal measure.
I will hide now.
I never realised that you did your Alex from True Colours.
Yes.
And your Steph. I was like, oh my god.
Forgot
this
about that
is
myself.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you reminded me of this. But oh my
Throwback.
god. Anastasia.
Yes.
We both do.
I love.
I do the trampy version. You do the
Trampy
princess version.
Yeah, but amazing.
But thank you. Animal Crossing.
Yes.
Umbrella Academy. Detroit Become Human. I was like, we're just mirroring each other's little cosplay journey here.
We have great taste.
And I'm here for
Do
it.
you know what I mean?
Clearly we both have great taste. But I just couldn't go over how many like weirdly similar ones there were.
Little crossovers and stuff like that.
Yeah. But no, a lot of love for many of those
I know.
fandoms. So other than Borderlands, which as I say, I hold my hands up and say, I know nothing about this, but I can appreciate it.
It's a particular
I feel
kind
like
of
we
game.
were kind of...
It's, it's not to everyone's taste either, I feel. So it's, that's understandable.
It's one of those ones where the art style really it defines it, right? Like it stands out because it looks so distinctive. And I think lends itself to amazing cosplays, but not easy cosplays. Like I don't think I've ever seen anybody doing a Borderlands cosplay that looks like it was quick or simple. Like they always look like they are a lot of work. So props to having so many of them because that seems like quite the investment.
I know. Chaos is all I can say.
But you're going back a few questions when you were mentioning your like Christmassy plans for some of your cosplays. That is something I love about following you. Like your hype for Christmas.
Love it.
Always gets me in a festive mood.
I love that.
All the Christmas cosplays. And I know you've been doing like your little like Christmas like cosplay music video. I've seen you like putting out some shouts for that, which is really cool. And I must mention, which I don't know if you saw this, Dave, but I was like, we're going to get a picture of this because I'm like, number one cosplay that you do, sorry. Harry from Home Alone, the wet bandit. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, to be honest. That is
like one photo of it is all I could find on there, but I was like, this is an underrated gem. This is amazing.
That is a costume I can say I have not seen at the convention, so it's very impressive.
I would love to say that to a convention. Do you know, it breaks my heart, man. It breaks my heart because honest to God, that I love that cosplay, and I had a Marv as well, but but he's now my ex.
Oh no!
I'll bring him back just for that. How about that? No.
Call yourselves the ex-bandits.
Yes. So I'm like, is it bad if I try and get my current boyfriend to do it?
Well, this is what I was going to suggest, but then I was like, is that tactful or no?
See,
but still, maybe.
It's not as
Because that's it. It means that your next cosplay is Marv. You're the Marv.
I'll do it.
That's it.
I'll do it.
Sold.
I'll do the iron imprint on my face.
In acrylic paint.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, can we show
Only
a picture of the two of us if we blur his face? I don't know, but
probably. I'm sure that I could manage that.
I can make that work.
Honestly, I do you know, I nearly went as Harry for my work Halloween party, just for the sake of it.
You should have.
Just for the sake of it.
I bet they would have appreciated.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope so. Not many of them dressed up, though. And I was like, come on, do you know what I mean? And they're like, Georgia, not everyone loves cosplay, and I'm like, there's no excuse.
Don't remind me.
No, not too real.
It's like Halloween. Halloween is the holiday for cosplay.
Halloween,
what are you talking about?
Cool, you know what I mean? But never mind. No, I love that cosplay. I can't lie. It's
so
guilty
cool.
pleasure. I feel guilty pleasure.
There's nothing guilty about that. That was just class.
Thank you.
I'd literally written it in like capital letters. I was like, Harry Cosplay. So I mentioned this.
I love that. Oh, I need to do it again. Well, to be fair, I'm going to a Home Alone in concert thing in December, and I'm like, do I?
Yes.
Like walking into Liverpool,
Also,
like
Tis
this
the
sounds
season.
amazing in
Yeah.
general.
Oh,
Like,
I
where
know.
is this?
Well, I think it's a whole tour. To be fair, so I think it's all over the show. But we're seeing it at the M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool because it's easiest to get to. I'm going to go to the markets after,
Nice.
and I'm like, do we just rock up as Harry from Home Alone and
Cute.
just like walk around the markets, like eating me like Yorkshire pudding wrap, like.
Yeah.
They'd be like,
Do it. Embrace it.
love it. Even like
Yeah.
the little
Just cakes
bald,
in the
the
joint.
little bald head sticking
Yeah.
out with the feathers. Oh god, sold.
Amazing.
Doing it.
So yeah, that just needed a special shout
I love
out.
that.
Yep.
Thank you.
I always have a question, and it's always one where it's either going to have a really straightforward answer or is one that will take you on a journey. And it is, what is the dream cosplay? What is the one where if time and money were no object and you could make this thing happen, which is the costume that you would pick?
It's for a long time. It's been Athena from Borderlands, the pre-sequel. So like a purple foam wig. She's got like a kind of like a hood scarf thing. She's got proper armor, which I haven't delved into armor just yet. I just love. I don't know what it is because it's not like I don't even think she's a very recognizable Borderlands character. If I'm triggering people, I'm sorry, but I don't know. I really want to do it, but also Cassandra from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like I just love to do it. And I'm like, I could just buy it, but even that's like 300 odd quid for like a fabric armor thing. And I'm like, like a crap flipping one from a website. And I'm like, oh, I feel like I'd rather wait a bit longer and try and learn how to do it. Because I don't know why I did this, but I commissioned the wig. So I've got the wig, but just not the skills. I'm like, why did I years down the line then?
You're committed to the dream.
Yeah.
You're committed to the dream. That's the important thing.
And that's Drawing Dreamer again, who is my amazing like wig stylist. I rely on them a lot they did my Bigby wig and all sorts of wigs that they're amazing. But yeah, Cassandra is one. I'm going to try and do a casual one. She has like a casual dress at the start, so I'm like, I could work my way up slowly. But I'm like, I just want to do the full armor. I want to do a full performance, like a MegaCon or something. Because I don't know if you played the game. I wanted to do like a Cult of Cosmos member with like the mask and the hood, and then like kind of all like reveal myself as Cassandra and do this whole thing with it. So that is, I would probably say that Cassandra is the new like dream cosplay. So give it about 10 years, and you'll see.
And you're partway there. You've already got the wig, so you're further on than most people when we ask them about their dream cosplay.
But you never know. Or even like, I want to delve into Apex Legends. I want to delve into those cosplays, but again, they're an absolute small fortune. It's not even a small; it's just a fortune.
Fortune.
Not small about
it's nothing small about it. Probably Watson or Loba. Again, I have the wig for Loba. Bought the costume. Costume didn't fit. I was like, well, I've got the wig. So and I'm one of those people that will not send it back. I'll just, again, money gone, and it'll just sit there looking at me.
It'll come in.
It'll just be sat
Money's
there
been spent now.
Yeah.
The damage has been done.
You're committed to it now. Yeah. You're committed to it.
And my parents are like, oh my God.
I'm worried about how many... You asked about me. I'm worried about how many wigs you own, because apparently multiple for cosplays he's not even done. So
no, it's bad.
I feel like your answer might be even worse than mine.
And I feel like a hair wig is a smaller storage.
Oh, you'd be
potentially
surprised.
than massive foam wigs.
Depends how styled it is.
True.
Though.
That's true.
I'm really bad.
If you've had it done, you're gonna have to keep it on a head. And...
I'm really.
And let's face it, I know nothing about hair, fake or otherwise.
I respect that. You know what I mean? It's one of them.
I have to borrow some. Next convention, Kisasa, can I borrow a good wig, you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One that's going spare.
I have many.
Let's just dish them out.
You can have my wig number 2. I'm on number 4 now, so
oh no.
I don't need it.
I'll make it work for me.
I'm terribly wasteful, to be quite frank. Like I have loads of wigs that just don't even get used half the time, or it might even be a styled wig. And you get to the end of a Comic-Con day and you think, I'm just going to shove it in the bag. I'm just going to flip in,
Oh no, wounded, but I know what you mean. I've
Yeah.
done it.
I'm
But
like, and I get home and I'm like, at the time it feels so good. It's
why
like,
did I do this?
And then I get home
Deeply
and I'm
triggered.
like,
Deeply triggered.
hey, what did I do? What did I do that for? I'm like, that was like 60 quid. What did I do that for? And I don't learn. It's one of them.
Oh,
I'm not
God.
the learning type, so I continue to make these mistakes.
End of con madness. It happens to all of us.
Honestly,
It's fine.
cubicle getting changed, like I've been binning everything off, like honestly. Calling myself out here.
Cool. Well, I think that brings us to the end of this episode, and I want to say big thank you to Georgia Dyer. Thank you for showing me that there are some awesome Telltale cosplays in the world. It makes me happy. It's a level that I could never dream of. So the fact that you have so many is very impressive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for telling us all about that, and yeah, good luck with the dream cosplay.
Thank you, I need it.
You're partway there. So.
No, thank you so much.
So thank you for watching Cosplay Confessional. If you have any burning cosplay questions for the future, or if you want to be involved in the show, drop us a line, cosplayconfessional@nerdod.com, or you can find us on Instagram. So yeah, thanks very much. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Cosplay Confessional is part of the Nod Network and produced by Studio 30,000.